You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Sponsored by Treebor Soft Mints.
Absolute Radio.
Hi. It's not the weekend podcast for Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner, plus...
Emily and Gareth.
Yes.
And, you've already said it.
Yeah, you've been included.
Okay.
Oh, so, welcome, and thank you for listening. Just for taking the trouble to download is, I love it. I have a reprise to begin with.
Okay.
A reprise. For those of you who listen to the Saturday morning show, or its resultant podcast, you'll know that I went to a launch party last week for the King James Bible Trust. Not Truss. A King James Bible Trust would be a marvellous thing. You could think, it's a bit tight onto the thing, but that'll be the New Testament slipped. So, I mentioned the fact that I met Professor Gordon Campbell.
Right.
Who has written a book.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him in Hello and OK.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a beard absolutely long. And we were talking about... He said there are some parts of the Bible, he said, that they translate the King James Bible, and you can't make any sense of it. He said there's a thing in Ezekiel, he said, that I've never managed to really work out. He said, and I've never read any explanation. He said, I've read a lot about it. I've never read an explanation that I was convinced by. He said, I just think we'll have to accept we'll never know what they meant.
Well, I come from a line of preachers, so I might be able to help.
Well, this is good, because he emailed me, the professor, and said, here's that quote. He said it's Ezekiel 13:18. Well, that would have been enough. I could have gone and looked it up, but no. He reproduced the quote for me to peruse at my leisure. So this is it. This is Ezekiel. We don't have enough Ezekiel on these podcasts. I've said that once.
No, Ben Jones does it. I know he does.
Yeah, I know he's kind of cornered the Ezekiel market, Ben Jones, but this is Ezekiel without the baseball cap.
Okay.
Woe to the women that sew pillows to all armholes and make kerchiefs upon the head of every stature to hunt souls.
Oh.
Woe to the women that sew pillows to all armholes. Well, I mean, they're rascals, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because, you pick up your tank top, and then there's a couple of big...
It's a very strange thing.
I'm accepting the adjective strange as apt in this case. Yeah, and so, Mr. Preacher Man, what do you make of that?
It's a funny one.
Yeah, is that your final word on it?
It probably meant something to the people at the time, I imagine.
Oh, thanks for that.
I'm with you. Well, I'm glad we have you as our theological correspondent.
See, that's what you've got to think.
Yes. That room, by the way, that the Bible party was in, I don't know if I told you this on Saturday, was King Charles I was beheaded just outside the window.
Oh, it's a shame.
I know. It was an accident. I think it's sash windows. They're not safe. No, he had to walk through that room, and then...
Well, that was bad enough, having to walk.
He had to walk... A king. I mean, you think they'd have got him a sedan chair.
Exactly.
I think things were looking bad for him anyway.
They weren't looking good. Yeah. But, I mean, it doesn't get much worse than a beheading, let's face it. Anyway, he had to walk through, and then he had to climb through the window. I think they must have put a small step ladder.
Sure.
I bet he went up it to dun, 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 like me and me top bunk. And then when he got outside, there was a platform at windowsill level. So as he went through, the crowd were already waiting. Samuel Pepys. Does he? He should have that seen to. And he was beheaded outside there in Whitehall.
What a lovely story.
Yes. Now look at, Whitehall, it's just people standing on police vans. In those days, it was class. Anyway, I'll tell you what I did this week. My first, actually it was last week now. It was my first of the year. I had a Christmas party.
Oh, you started early.
Yeah, we kicked in. I'll tell you why, because it was... Oh, you've heard me mention the yoga gang.
Oh, they're good friends of Kath's, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they're good friends of mine as well.
All right.
They started as Kath's friends, and it's, that difficult moment when you have a partner's friends, and you start to get quite close to them, and then the partner's sort of, hold on, they're my friends. On a bit of distance. We'll have some occasions when I see them on my own without you, just to re-establish that they're my friends. Okay, so that's gone on. Anyway, we had a Secret Santa.
Oh,
we
did
had
you?
Christmas music. We had crackers.
I don't like Secret Santa, Frank.
I had my first ever nut roast.
Did you?
Well, I had no idea that the oven door was open.
Oh.
By then it was too late. Yeah, you don't like a Secret Santa?
No.
I should tell you where he is. I don't like the hiding.
But it defeats the whole purpose of gift giving, because it's a gesture saying, I give you this gift, and aren't I nice? And then when you do Secret Santa, no one knows. I hate all that putting names in some old hat, like some World Cup draw. It's horrible.
I think you'll find the World Cup draw is done in a series of see-through spheres. There's no old hat involved.
There is if you're involved.
How dare you? Well, there was that one that Attie Jakes, I think, did the... I think she did the 94, the LA draw.
She did.
Old hat. Yeah, she did, yeah. I think Attie Jakes
I
did
just
that
don't
draw.
like it, Frank. I just don't like, because I know I'm going to end up with something like, just say we all do that.
Was Attie Jakes in the South African draw, or was that Charlize Theron?
Oh, yeah, Charlize
I always
Theron.
get them
I
mixed
don't know.
up.
She's a chameleon, that woman. She can do anything.
She's a stand-up comedian. Anyway, carry on.
I just know, just say we all do it, I will get the short end of the straw. Because I know I'll get some stapler from Absolute, from Gareth or something, and I'll have
Right.
to pretend to be really happy with it. And then I'll end up giving him some
wouldn't
Dolce &
pretend to be
Gabbana
happy.
gloves or something.
Well, no, she wouldn't pretend. You're quite right. She'd be like when I bought David Baddiel that shirt once, and he said to me, "What made you think I would like this?"
He didn't say that.
He did say it. Yeah.
Oh, David.
And then he said, maybe I could give it my brother for Christmas. Can you believe that?
Oh.
I was cut to the very quick, to the Diana quick, if she was here. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know if we had the right procedure for Secret Santa, because I do, at the end, my Secret Santa, this is, what does this tell you? My Secret Santa present, there was two things in the wrapping. One of them was a West Bromwich Albion pencil case. And the other thing was a book of dirty jokes.
Oh.
Now, I mean, is that some sort of stereotypical view which has reduced me to just some foul-mouthed football fan? Is that what's happened? I said, is that what's happened? Did I look rhetorical? Anyway, but I know, sent you. At the end, we all said...
Was it Kath?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we all... at the end, we all said who did what. And we also knew who we were getting it for. Is that
No,
normal?
no, you're meant to know who you're getting it for.
Oh, right, but we all said then who
Otherwise,
bought
I
it.
could end up with some men's hankies. You know who you're getting it for,
Right, they could have been left.
but you never reveal who gave it.
Oh, well, we completely blew that. It was it was a lovely party, but I made a couple of faux pas.
What did you do?
Well, I've got this new application on my iPhone.
Oh, you okay?
Yes, and it's called Fat Booth.
Oh, God.
And you take a photograph of someone, and then it shows you what they'd look like if they was really fat. It's brilliant. I love it. And I did it. I'd only just downloaded it, so I was, I couldn't put it down. And so I did it on my girlfriend, Kath, who, and I don't think she'd mind me saying, has got more eating disorders than...
Thanks.
Well, she has. She's had a few eating. She's very upfront about it.
But she's
I've
a
seen
lovely slim figure.
She is, yeah, but I've heard her say to waiters,
the
oh, sorry, I
bonus of
can't
eating
have that. I've got an eating disorder, and they look very edgy. People don't like you being upfront about it. Anyway, I did a photo of her in the fat. I said,
Oh, yeah.
look at that. I didn't tell her what it was. I said, look at that. And she didn't laugh or anything.
Oh, God.
She just looked distraught. And everyone...
Your
another,
customary sensitivity.
Yeah, and a woman there said, you shouldn't have done that with Kath. So that was already... Already there was a difficult...
Because yoga people very sensitive.
Well, exactly. They, I thought it'd be fine. And then, my girlfriend is very, how can I put this? Foul-mouthed. I mean, I can't give you an example, but
she can be a bit Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, God, she swears like there's no tomorrow. And anyway, someone said, we were all sitting around the table, having our nut roast with our paper hats on, and someone said, Frank, is there anything Kath could say that would shock you? And I said, yeah, she could say, oh, it's all right, I'll get this.
Oh, my goodness.
And that didn't go.
my
That didn't go very well either.
Frank,
What I thought,
so bad.
I thought it would bring the
Merry
house down.
Christmas. Oh my
Goodness me.
God! I hope you've apologised to her.
Well, I thought it was all right.
It's not all right.
What, have you got a new devastation app on your phone? Look at this, it goes exactly the wrong thing to say in any situation. Look, if I just put in the situation,
You're
yoga
making
people...
me feel bad now. I
I
haven't got round to the apology because I thought, it was funny, and if it's funny, to me that's good enough.
Yeah, no.
Oh dear, that's it's like having sugar with your medicine. Oh dear.
And was it, so it was veggie, was it, with nut roast?
Oh yeah,
Was
it's
it veggie?
Very, very, but lovely. I've never
Oh, I
had
love a nut roast.
Yeah. I
I
would
do.
recommend anyone listening now who's never tried a nut roast, get out there. It was.
And if you know me, serve me a nut roast.
yeah.
I'll eat it up. I love it.
And then we said,
I've got one in the oven for you. It's right here.
Oh, don't start being like that again. He's going
I'm not
creepy
being
again.
like anything. I'm not
I
being
saw
like
that.
anything.
one in the oven, one in the oven.
Even-
What's going on?
Even beneath my winter woolens, I can see the look in his eye. It's a bit lizardy.
It is a bit lizardy. It's certainly
Chameleon.
It's certainly reptilian. It might not be lizardy. It could be. I don't know. There's an element of gecko.
The producer just leant over to look at his eyes
Yeah,
to see if they were reptilian.
yeah. Michael Gecko. That's what I call it. Anyway, so that's my first Christmas party of the year, and we struggled a bit. There's an odd moment when we said, why don't we put on VH1 or something with all the Christmas hits? And I couldn't find the Christmas hits programme on the music channels.
No.
Then I thought that'll be probably because it's mid-November.
That's right.
But anyway, we bounced back, and that was that out of the way. Now, can I say, I mean, I know that we talked about the idea of never discussing this on air, but Gareth, we were out. We were having lunch, and Gareth mentioned something casually, and me and Emily looked at each other we were shocked. If fainting was a real thing, I might well have fainted. And I said to Gareth, don't tell us any more, tell us on air.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know if I wanted to. But anyway, we've persuaded him.
Well, I don't know if it's that big a deal. It was probably the early 90s. My parents
How old were you?
I was probably about 11 years old. My younger brothers would probably have been sort of 7 and 8, something like that.
Okay, so we've got 3 children, 11, 7 and 8.
Lovely little children.
Their parents are going on holiday without
Yeah,
them.
well, they can't. Times were hard. It was I think we were just coming
Hence
out
the
of
holiday.
the 1980s recession. Well, they hadn't been on holiday together for long. They've had kids for 12 years.
Oh, that'll
Yeah,
happen when you
years.
have kids. They tend to hang around for a bit.
Yeah, they want to go on holiday with you. Demanding little
They
beasts.
couldn't afford to take us all.
Okay.
Times were hard.
So they
My
left
dad
you home
had a
alone?
Kitchen
Was-
business.
well, did they leave you with someone?
Were you home alone?
Yeah, a family they knew moved in with us
Family
Okay.
they knew.
and looked after us for the
Okay.
week.
Right, okay.
And they went on holiday away together. Couldn't afford to take us.
Okay, now there's 2 points here. First of all, they didn't just go down the road to Poole or something like that. They went abroad.
Yeah, they went abroad.
They went to America
Yeah.
and left the 3 young children behind. Where did they go in America, Gareth?
They went to Disney World.
It's unbelievable. Talk about rubbing their noses in it. Look, we're going on holiday, kids. Hey, you're not coming. Ooh. And what's more, we're going to Disney World. What were they working as characters?
No. To be fair, my mum cried all the first day. She said,
In Disney World.
In
What
Disney World.
about the other 13 days? Too busy having a good time, I suppose, on the rides and stuff. It's an incredible story.
It's
Gareth.
amazing.
Yeah.
Did you question it at the time, or
I think it is. It's become normal, a bit normal, but we are aware that it is quite bad. It's quite bad.
It's just, why would 2 adults... Do you think they were going to take you, first of all?
maybe they were doing a recce? They thought they'd go over
Yeah.
there, see what.
Are
No,
they
I'm just
very-
giving them the benefit of the
Are
doubt.
they very health and safety conscious?
Yes.
Yeah, so they thought, we'll try a few rides, make sure it's all right.
And then they realised they didn't have enough money to take the children.
Well, it could still
Oh.
happen. You could still get the phone call.
Yeah.
They took us to Euro Disney.
Oh, did they?
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
When was that?
Same year, or?
Later on, when I was about 16.
Oh, so they took you to the bad one.
Yeah, they took you to the cold, horrible one with the French people in it. But they went to the lovely one. Why did they go to Disney World? It doesn't make any sense.
It's weird. Did they like I mean, were they always interested in Mickey Mouse, or why did they choose Disney?
I think my grandma had a timeshare that's in Florida, but you can swap that to different places.
Oh, so the accommodation was paid for.
Accommodation was paid
Okay.
You know, can I say, you've taken me to a level of disbelief with this story that I honestly thought you were going to say, I think my granny had a time machine. That, to me, would seem less incredible than the parents going to Disney World story. That would seem like a kitchen sink drama compared
Did they
to that.
send you a postcard saying, wish you were here?
With Mickey Mouse on. They must have sent that.
They
Yeah.
brought us presents back.
Oh, lovely.
I think they got me the mouse from Dumbo.
Not Mickey Mouse, which is what
No,
everyone
not-
wants.
not a
and-
big-
No, I
quite
think they
a
had
small-
that. They bought a Mickey Mouse, but that was kept in their room. You had to have the mouse, the stand-in, the mouse from Dumbo. Mouthy little creature that it was. It ain't Mickey.
I think they were doing a recce. I think that's what it was.
Is it?
Yeah, because you did end up going to Euro Disney in the end. And actually, at least, okay, you think that's bad. My father took me and my sister to a Michael Jackson concert. He went off to get 3 ice creams. He came back licking one, going, sorry, I only had enough money on me for one. That's quite bad.
It is quite... If you'd told me that story before the Disneyland story, I'd have said that was a terrible, cruel treatment of young children. However, now, it seems like an act of kindness.
Oh, dear. So, meanwhile, whilst your parents have been reminiscing over their fabulous holiday at Disney World without the children, I've been in Manchester, Frank, last week.
Oh, Manchester.
Oh, I rather like it there, you know. I like the red brick. I like the people.
There's a lot of red brick, isn't there? I've noticed that.
Love a red brick. I also I noticed with the hotel I was staying in, I was there for work, I was there for install. Fashion gets everywhere.
Even Manchester.
Yes, they're very nice
Is
to
the
dress.
hooded top still big there?
Oh, yeah,
No, I
so.
think they make quite a lot of effort in Manchester. I
No, the
feel
girls
like in
are quite well
London,
turned out.
Everyone's a bit like, yeah, we're brilliant here, whatever.
Well,
But
we
in
are.
Manchester, they try hard, I think.
No, they're good. They're
Nice shops,
good-looking girls.
nice shopping.
But with the hotel, there were 2 things about the hotel. I had 11 pillows, I counted them. And I worked out that's about exactly the right amount for me. I'm like Princess and the Pea. Don't you love being that high up? Your head's that high up.
No, I don't, you
Don't
see.
you?
I don't, for a start off, in a hotel bed, a lot of the pillows aren't for sleeping. I mean, some of the pillows they're cushions. I've had tassels before. No, on the bed, you know what I mean? So you've got like 9 pillows, and then you've got like cushion. What are they for?
I use those as props. I use those to prop up the other pillows.
You're joking. You
No.
don't sleep with all that lot.
Yes.
First thing I do is chuck them all on the floor.
Yeah.
They're all right. If the sort of person, if you go in for Sultan-like lounging,
I do.
yeah, you actually do that. When you're being fed grapes, that kind of thing, then they're all right. But I can't. I know. When I sleep in the bed, I have 1 pillow. Everything else goes out
Do
there.
you?
Yes.
You see, because that's the thing. When you get to a hotel room, don't you find you sort of may have to make it your own? That's what I have to do. Like, I get it how I like it. But what I
We
don't...
had a cat that used to do that. Is that what you do? You urinate in each corner?
No! What I don't like is, why do they put the kettle in the wardrobe? You know when you get there and there's a little kettle so you can make your own tea? I don't like that.
Oh, I love that.
Do you?
Well, a lot of the posh restaurants now, they've taken away the tea-making facilities in the hope that you'll spend more money on room service. Not Frank.
I was...
I'd rather go to a local cafe. Yeah.
But anyway, on my way to Manchester, Frank, I had a bit of an incident. There was a man on the train...
Can I just say, I think it might be to do with my narrow shoulders.
What?
Well, you'd agree, wouldn't you, that I've got quite narrow shoulders and quite a big head?
I couldn't possibly comment.
Yes. So, because of the narrowness of my shoulders, if I have more than 1 pillow... I mean, my shoulders are about a pillow's width. Well, thickness. But if you put a pillow on my shoulder now, it would... And put it, tightly against my ear, it would come to the end of my shoulder. I think you'd agree with that. With some people, Ian Lee, for example, of Absolute Radio, would get 6 pillows across. He's got enormous shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he looks like a man looking over the back of a sofa. Anyway, so when I lie down, if I had 2 pillows, my head would be craned upward. Do you see my point? Because of the narrow shoulder.
Just
You could do it mathematically. Measure the distance from my ear to
You're
the end of my
thinking it
shoulder.
over too much. Just sink into the pillows.
You can't sink that much in. Do you want me to stifle?
Yeah. Get lost in the pillows. Do you like pillows?
I have 2 pillows, and then for sleeping I use 1.
Well, what do you use the other ones for then?
Oh, steady. Hold on. Let's just. You all right with
I
this?
throw the other pillow over the side when I'm sleeping, but
You tied it.
Well,
if
then
you want
that's
to,
not two pillows, is it? If one's thrown over
he
the
said,
side.
He said, I tied it over the side.
did I?
He ties it over the side. Just a minute. You don't sew pillows to all armholes, do you?
I do actually.
Oh, do you make kerchiefs upon the head of every statue?
Sometimes.
Ah, well, now we're getting to it. Well, woe to you.
Times were hard.
When I say woe to you, I mean, not referring to you as if you were equine. I just mean, be careful.
No, I have two pillows so that if I want to sit up in bed, I can do that, because you need one horizontal and one vertical to make the kind of sitting up position.
Well, you don't. Can I
happen.
just say you don't?
Well,
You don't actually need that.
He wants
We'll
a
just
right
let it
angle.
bounce.
You want a right angle.
comfy.
Yes.
But I only sleep with one pillow,
Oh.
and I find any more than that disgusting.
Well, that's harsh, but I like it. I like your positivity about it. I suppose with you waking up in the night screaming, Goofy, and stuff like that a lot, you probably don't need pillows at all, really.
Oh, he has nightmares. He has callbacks.
So you're in... Oh, that
Yeah,
sounds
so anyway,
very nice
so on
in
the
Manchester.
on the train, Frank, a man did a thing where I had my reading matter, which was some glossy fashion magazines,
Of course.
and a newspaper, and the man took my paper. He didn't ask,
Oh, one of those.
and it was a broadsheet, so it's not like some freebie rubbish.
Yeah.
And I looked at him very meaningfully. So
But you do that a lot with men on trains.
I do. And he looked back at me. He said, "I'm going to read this." He didn't say, "Can I read
Did
this?"
he know it was yours?
Well, I don't know at that point. And I decided to turn it around so that it looked like I wasn't being totally walked all over. And I said, "Would you like to read it?"
Okay.
Which was the wrong way round, really, the conversation. So he just went, "Yeah." Starts reading it, which was bad. So I was already hated the man.
Yeah, that's wrong. I wouldn't have let him read it. That's what I'm like. I'd have said, well, I'm sorry, I think that was too rude.
You would have used Devastation app on your iPhone.
Probably.
You would have floored him. I needed you. So then, Frank, he starts turning the pages of the broadsheet. You know when people lick their index finger and their thumb to get
no.
purchase on the pages?
Oh, no.
He starts doing that. Spit on every page. There was a massive bit I saw. I didn't know what to do. I went, "Oh, dear God." Oh, dear God.
Oh, no.
He didn't listen, though. So in the end, I leant across and I took the inserts out of the paper. It
Yeah.
didn't really make an impact, though.
No.
Oh, I hated him.
I
Doing
don't
that's
like the licking.
awful.
Well, I mean, a well-known comedian actually came around my house, and
Who was it?
Kevin Eldon, and he said, "Oh, can I use your toilet?" And in that strained way that I knew it wasn't going to be, and I said, "Yeah, but fine." I knew it wasn't going to be quick work, and he picked up my newspaper and went in. And of course, that newspaper came back. It went back. It went on the table, and I thought, well, I can't even touch that now. I can't even touch it. I don't. I'll have to wait till the cleaner comes on Thursday for that to be even moved. So imagine that. Imagine if he'd done that. Imagine if he'd said, "I'll have that paper," and gone to the toilet and come back. Where would you have been? Waterloo, probably.
Oh, very
It wasn't a pun. It was just they just drop off me. So you had a nice time in Manchester.
I think I'll be going back there again.
When were you there? I was in Manchester this week.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a coincidence.
Oh.
Up or something. I was playing.
So was Al Murray.
I was playing Manchester Metropolitan University.
Were you?
Who won?
They did.
No, I thought so.
Oh, you should have called me. I
Yeah.
may not have answered, but you should have called.
So your parents were doing a gig at the Palladium. I was, when we went and saw Elton John the other. We saw, and I got a car back, cab driver man, and
Cab driver man.
yeah, and he said to me, I listen to Absolute all the time. He said, I love it. I said, oh, brilliant. He said, in the evenings, I only listen in the evenings. I thought, okay, you don't hear our show, it's fine. He said, I used to love when they used to do a greatest hits show of your show on a Sunday night. He said, I used to love that, but he said, but of course they don't do it anymore. Do you know, I had no idea it
I
didn't
know
exist
that they
anymore.
didn't do that
That's
anymore.
how I found out, from
Why?
a cab driver.
Why don't they do it anymore?
Well, I've no idea. The cab driver was outraged, and I was, well, close to tears, I'll be straight with you.
It's not a reliable way of letting you know, is
What
it?
a way to find out from a
Just-
cab driver. I
just
wasn't
spread the
informed.
news around
No one
cab
said to me,
drivers.
we're dropping your show from
That
the
is
evening
aw-
Sunday
Did the
schedule.
producer know? Did you know that? She's nodding.
Well, she wouldn't know because she edited it into the Sunday night thing. Did she
Why
tell
didn't
us?
you tell us?
Don't have a scene on air.
Oh, okay. Oh, I love one on air.
Yeah, she can be dealt with later.
Get the Devastation app out.
Pardon?
Get the Devastation app out.
Okay.
I think we need
Yeah.
to sort it.
Meanwhile, Gareth's parents have got their own show on Radio 1. But that's life. No, I was taken aback. I'll be honest with you. Oh, sorry, I've got a scratch.
Oh.
I can hear it. I think
Hey,
it's audible.
Never mind your scratch. Did you see that story? There was a woman in France who was trapped in the toilet in her bath. I shouldn't laugh, but it did make me laugh. She was trapped in her bathroom for 3 weeks. She was fine. I should say she was fine. She got out in one piece. But she obviously, she was pretty hungry.
I bet she was.
She was surviving. She survived on water, though. So you can live. Because
Yes.
she'd get something. But, yeah, she was a bit upset. But you'd be, I'd quite like it in a way.
What, to be in the bathroom for 3 weeks?
Well, I can think of worse rooms to be
There
in.
are worse rooms. I think that.
I think it's the best one.
You've got the water element.
Clean.
You can wash.
Smell
yeah.
lovely.
Yeah, you can wash as much as you like. Keep everything coiffured.
Yeah.
Shave. Because that's the trouble with being trapped somewhere, is the beard grows.
Well, exactly.
And if my beard, I've noticed now quite a bit of grey in my beard. There's an element of Kenny Rogers. He's only a heartbeat away. No, it is. If I was going to trap, I think we should have had that as a phone in 1 week. Which room
Yeah.
would you most want to be trapped in? And the bathroom would definitely be my choice.
Yeah.
I'd go for that. It is.
Not the kitchen, because there's some food in the kitchen,
Oh yeah, and you could wash in the kitchen if you wanted to.
or somewhere with a telly.
See, when I was a kid, I used to get in the kitchen sink, and my mum used to rub me down with half a fire brick.
What?
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the kitchen actually is quite a good call. Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't like
You can
getting
wash in there, in the sink.
I've just said that.
Half a fire
Do you not actually listen to
Yeah,
this
but
as it goes out?
I was just
Do you think I won't listen to it now, so it'll spoil it? I'll listen to it when it goes out.
podcast. I don't want to ruin the podcast for myself.
Yeah, that's the point. But I would have just been interested. You ever been trapped anywhere?
Well, I've sometimes been locked in people's bathrooms, which is always a bit embarrassing.
deliberately,
isn't it?
or
How dare you? Actually,
Okay.
once or twice, yeah. But no, so I've just sort of screamed and slightly said, "Let me out." But I had the worst.
That would do it.
The worst trappage I've had
yeah.
was in a ghost train, and it was in Berkshire.
You're joking. You were trapped in a ghost train.
Well, I wasn't in the train because it was sort of like a haunted horror walkthrough, if you know what I mean.
So there was no train?
No, a bit like, you know what Jonathan Ross has at his parties?
Was there a train?
Not an actual train.
Okay.
No. You walked through a scary experience. It was that. So, yeah, I was there, and it was in Berkshire, and it was a fair, and I was
Where
with...
specifically in Berkshire?
I can't remember the
Where I'm
place.
from.
Well, let's
Is
go.
it?
Oh, is it really?
Well, I'll tell you where it was. Are you familiar with the late Sheridan Morley?
No.
Oh,
Is that a
Frank will be.
hotel?
Frank, you know who he is, don't you?
Yes, I know Sheridan Morley. He was the son of Robert Morley, the actor.
Yes.
Was he not?
He was
And
a
he's a critic
reviewer and
writer.
critic,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of trains, there goes Elton John. Look. Hi, Elton. Hi, everyone. Yeah. Well, there you go. Be careful with. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Lovely coats he's wearing today. 6 I counted, and that was just on a brief pass past. Go on, pass past.
And I was with his youngest daughter. She was about 7. I was about 15 or something, 14.
Sheridan Morley had children, did he? You see, I always assumed he was.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
I like that we've said nothing but so much.
No, yes.
And I took her in.
When I say his father was Robert Morley, not the one who did Iron Like a Lion in Zion.
No.
Robert Morley. Okay. Carry
Yeah.
on.
He was in films with people like James Roberts and Justice.
We
wasn't
all
he?
were.
Yeah, well, exactly. So we went through, and she was quite posh and lovely little girl.
Well, she would be.
And we went through, and there was a horrible, horrible fairground man, sort of no teeth fairground man.
Yeah, tattoos.
I didn't trust him. We walked through, this door slammed shut. Our parents did what 70s parents do and went off to drink wine. walked through, the door slammed shut, was suddenly trapped pitch black, couldn't see anything. The girl starts crying.
Sounds horrible.
I felt to my side, it was awful. And then I said, well, we tried to walk forward. There was like a 20-foot drop when I put my foot down. It was awful, Frank.
God, that is a nightmare.
So I started going, let us out. I was screaming. No one could hear us. No one can hear us scream.
I could hear your child's voice when you said that. You stopped being an adult then. And also, there's a hint of haughtiness in it. Let us out! Slightly bit mad at me. Right, little man. Will you let us out? You man, that man from the fair. Still, at least they took you with them to the fair. Look on the bright side.
He wouldn't hear it. It was awful.
How did you get out?
The little girl went, I want to go out of here. I want my daddy.
Oh.
I said, I don't like it much either.
Must have been frightening when you're yearning for Sheridan Morley as an alternative.
So then we tried to go forward. The drop, 20-foot drop. It was awful. So I started banging on the door. We were stuck in there for about 45 minutes. We sat there. The girl was screaming. It was awful.
That is terrible.
My parents had a few drinks. They weren't that fussed when they came back.
Well, at least you've got your money's worth, because sometimes those sort of rides aren't that scary.
Well, exactly.
Well, exactly. Yeah, you got a
Terrifying.
good run for your money. You ever been trapped in a place, Gareth?
I recently, because I stay with friends at the weekend, and they were away for the weekend.
Okay.
Sorry about the tautology of the word weekend when I said that. I managed to...
Hold on. Okay.
I managed to...
I'm over it.
I locked myself out. I went to sign for a parcel for them, and I locked myself out of the flat. And so I was
a bit Terry and June, isn't it?
I was in like the stairwell
Did you have
bit.
pants on?
I did, yeah.
Just as well.
But it was a terrible moment because I realised they were away. All my stuff was in there.
Oh God, that is
It's a
terrible.
disaster.
So you were trapped outside of something rather
Yes.
than
What did you do?
But what I did was they had builders working there, and who had left their tools, or I think it was a gardener, and he had one of those sort of hand saws.
What? 127 hours? That was a bit
Yeah.
extreme.
I cut my leg off.
in. Yeah.
In retrospect, I didn't know what good I thought it would do, but I was quite impressed with myself.
Were you going to
'cause you
post
think-
yourself back into the house, and piece at a time?
bit by bit. I was
Oh,
worried
it's-
about the skull, but I thought I'll cross that bridge when I come to it.
Just like the upright pianos on Jus Sans Frontier.
And what I managed to do is put my hand through the letterbox and use the unfolded handsaw to like get the handle from the inside and pull it down. I broke in.
You did that with a handsaw. You
Yeah.
managed to turn the handle. That's bizarre.
I'm surprised you weren't cut to ribbons.
Yeah. So am I. But it was
That's great.
quite a relief.
Yeah, great initiative.
They should look at their security, though, actually.
They should look at their gardener if he's carrying a handsaw. What's he up to? God, how many people are in that back garden? One asks oneself.
Your parents had the keys, I hear.
Well, I was trapped in it. Oh, it was very horrible. But I got divorced.
You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Working towards a mintier world with Treebor Soft Mints.
Absolute Radio.